Bonjour, Olivier.
Bonjour, Ajahn. Thank you for your answer yesterday. When you say, the one who knows, what do you mean? Is it the difference between the knower and the thing that you know? As for example, when I observe my breathing, there is the breathing who is the object and my mind who is aware that observe my breathing. Is this correct?
Yeah, the mind is the one who observes the breathing. The breathing is part of the body, while the mind is the one who knows what's going on with the body. And this is the mind that besides knowing, it also thinks, it also feels, and it also perceives. These are the function of the mind. The four nama khanda, Vedana, Sanya, Sankhara, Vijnana, are part of the mind, the one who knows. Vijnana takes the information from the sensual organs, such as the eyes, ear, nose, tongue, and body. It's sent to the mind to be processed by sanya, perception. Sanya will tell what kind of picture, what kind of sound that it receives. When it processed, when it say it is a man or a woman, good or bad, then feeling will arise. If it's good, good feeling will arise. If it's bad, bad feeling will arise. When there is feeling, then there is sankhara, thinking about what should you do with these feelings. Should you save it or should you delete it? Like when you see on a computer, you see email, and you read email and you say, "Oh, this is good, save it. This is bad, delete it." So this is sankhara, the thinking. Sankhara is the one who decide what to do with the information that you receive. So this is how the mind works. Through the body, it uses the body to gather all the information in this world. You need a body, which is like a drone that has a camera, has a microphone, that pick up the pictures and pick up the sound, and then it's sent to the mind to process, to decide what to do with this information. This is how the mind operates. It uses the body in order to experience sight, sound, smell, taste, and tactile objects, and then it manage this feeling by using sankhara. If it finds something good, then it tells the body to gather more of it, to preserve it for as long as possible. Such as when you find money, you say, "Oh, this money is good, so I have to preserve it, or I have to try to find more of it." So this is the work of sankhara, your thinking.
Will you guide me through the contemplation of the body so I can be free of sensual pleasures?
Well, the contemplation of the body has many aspects. The first aspect is to contemplate on the impermanent nature of the body, that the body is constantly changing. It's never the same. It keeps rise. It first will start to grow when it's young, but once it has full grown, then it will start to get old, get sick, and die. So this is something you have to look at the body to remind yourself that the body will have to get old, get sick, and die. The second aspect is to look at the body, to look at it as a body without yourself. There is there's no self, there's no you in the body. The body is just a product created by your parents, your father and your mother. You are the spirit that comes and possesses the body. So you should not be afraid of the impermanence of the body. If you know that you're not the body, then whatever happens to the body cannot hurt you. But if you are deluded and you keep thinking that the body is you, then whatever happens to the body will hurt you. So this is what you want to contemplate. The second aspect is the not self. The body is not yourself. The body is just a component, a product created by your parents, made from the four elements, made from the earth, water, fire, and air or wind. When they combine, they produce this body having the 32 parts, such as the hair of the head, hair of the body, the nail, the teeth, the skin, the flesh, the bone, the organs, the heart, lungs, liver, kidneys, brain, intestines. These are the things that you have to contemplate, so that you can see that there's no such thing as yourself in the body. The body is just a product made from the four elements, and that it will eventually has to decompose and return back to the four elements. But you do not decompose with the body. You are the one who think, the one who contemplate. The one who contemplate doesn't die with the body. Once, if you keep contemplating, it will become clearer and clearer until eventually you will be able to let the body let go of the body. See the body as not yourself. So this is the second aspect. The third aspect is to look at the unwholesome or repulsive part of the body, the unattractive part of the body. Because if you see somebody good looking, you will become attracted and you will have this sexual desire arise, and will make you have to have that person to make you happy. But if you can look at that person that looks attractive out from the outside, you should look inside the body. Inside the body, besides what you see outside, there are still lots of things inside which are not good looking at all. If you can see the organs, the bones, the skeleton inside the body, then it can stop your sexual desire, your attraction to that body. Then you can live alone. You don't need to have a partner to make you happy. You can be happy by doing meditation, by being alone. So this is the third aspect of contemplation of the body. Look at the asubha. Asubha means not beautiful, not good looking, not attractive. Okay. Anything else?
Is there a simple process of contemplation of the body that can be practiced so that the wisdom is deepened?
What was so difficult about what I say? Just think the body is going to have to get old, get sick and die. The problem is you forget, see. That's the reason why you have to keep contemplating until you can accept and until you can remember it all the time. Once you remember it all the time, then whatever happens to the body, then you're not affected by it. But right now you keep forgetting that the body is going to get sick. As soon as you get sick, you start to worry. But if you don't forget, then you're not worried because you know this is going to happen. And so the only thing you can do is take it to the hospital, go see a doctor, get some medicine, get some fix. If you can fix it, fine. If you cannot fix it, then you just have to live with it. But you don't have to be hurt by it, because you're not the body. You're the one who contemplate. You're the one who look after the body. You're not the body. You're like a caretaker of the body. You never get old, get sick, or die. But you don't see it this way. You think you are the body, so you become worried. You become hurt when something happened to the body. So you have to remind yourself that you are not the body. You should look at your body like you look at other people's body. You don't care what happens to other people's body. The same way you should look at your body as just like other people's body. You don't care. Whatever happen, let it happen. If you can fix it, fix it. If you cannot, just let it be. Okay?
Thank you.
Let's take the first question.
Okay,ค่ะ. Can we say that Samma Sati and Samma Samadhi are the practice of samatha?
Yes, you need Samma Sati to have Samma Samadhi.
And Samma Ditti and Samma Sankappa are the practice of vipassana.
Yes, when you contemplate, you have to use Samma Titti and Samma Sankappa. Contemplate on the impermanent nature of body, feeling and mind. This is vipassana.
Also, does it mean that vipassana must be practiced outside the formal meditation period?
You can practice all day long. If you use vipassana, you don't have to sit in the sitting position. But when you do samadhi, you need to be in the sitting position. But when you develop vipassana, you can do it in any position. Okay, go ahead.
Okay. Yep. After practicing meditation for some times, I feel that there is this voice from inside that sometimes it leads to wisdom, like try to direct me to do the right things to do. But sometimes also I feel that it is kilesa because it direct me to do the wrong things. So I try to ignore it, but if I do the opposite way, then sometimes it turns out bad.
Just don't bother. Leave them alone. Just do what you're supposed to do, which is to develop mindfulness and calm your mind. And all these things are just distraction. Don't pay attention. Just if they still keep coming up, it means your mind is not calm enough. Your mindfulness is not enough. You should build more mindfulness, develop more mindfulness. Keep stopping your thought, concentrating or focusing your mind on something. If you're doing things, you can watch your body, use a mantra. When you sit, you can watch your breath or use a mantra. Just keep doing this, and you have to accept that right now this is the nature of your mind. It likes to create all this distraction to disrupt your practice. So don't pay any attention. You know exactly what you have to do. Just keep doing that. Right now you don't worry about contemplation or wisdom. Right now you worry about mindfulness and concentration, samadhi. Once you have this, then you can use the mind with strong concentration to develop wisdom, to get rid of your defilement.
Okay. My next question. When I get into fear, I try to concentrate on the object of meditation, and I can suppress it for some times. But after that, it keeps coming back. So,
if you want to get rid of it permanently, then you have to find out what exactly are you afraid of. Are you afraid of death? Then you have to look: can you avoid death or not? If you cannot avoid, if you don't want to be fearful of death, then you have to accept death. Once you can accept it, then once you are willing to die, then your fear of death will disappear. So you have to contemplate on death a lot. Tell yourself that life is short, life is impermanent. Sooner or later, this body will have to die. No matter where you are, no matter what you do, no matter how much enlightenment you have, it's not gonna change this fact. This fact is this body gonna die. But this body is not you. You are the mind. You are the one who uses the body to do things. So your body is like your servant. If you can think like this, then you can accept death. Once you accept death, then you will not be afraid.
Okay. My last question. when I do sitting meditation and I start to get calm, lately it is easy to get sleepy. So usually I turn to walking meditation. So is it the right thing to do?
Yes, you should get up and walk, because sitting and sleeping isn't any good for the mind. It's just like sleeping, laying down. So one way is to get up and walk. Another way is to reduce your consumption of food. You eat too much. Once you eat too much, the body will become sleepy. So you might try to fast for a few days if you like. Just drink maybe fruit juices. This will cut down the amount of food in your body, and then you will not feel sleepy when you sit and meditate.
Okay, thank you.
Okay.
Ajahn, maybe can advise what I should going forward in my practice after I go back to society.
The same thing, keep developing mindfulness and samadhi first. And also develop some of the wisdom. Even though you might not be able to use it fully, at least it will steer your way away from the way that you used to be. That you should always reflect on aging, sickness and death, to remind you that this world is a temporary world. Everything that you acquire is only temporarily. It's not worth your time and effort. That way it will steer your mind toward the practice of mindfulness and samadhi and wisdom. Okay? But the goal is to develop mindfulness so you can have samadhi. When you have samadhi, you have peace and happiness that is greater than any other kind of happiness. Then you can use this new happiness to compare with your old happiness. Then you have wisdom to see that the new kind of happiness is better. Once you know that is better, then you can relinquish your old kind of happiness. You can give up your life as a lay person and become a monk, and live like a monk. Okay? Okay, you're welcome to ask the question. Please speak close to the microphone.
Sadhu Ajahn.
Louder, yeah, closer.
Sadhu Ajahn.
Okay.
Ajahn, can you explain in shortly how the Paticca works in moment to moment?
Okay. Paticca Samuppada is the working of the mind. The mind is driven by avijja. Avijja is ignorance that has influence over the mind. It's the one that directs the sankhara, which is the thought, to start thinking. But we will think in the wrong way. Think toward the dukkha, not sukha. By thinking that sukha or happiness is in the sight, sound, smell, taste, object. So the mind will think toward this. Then from thinking it will send the mind toward vijnana, which will connect the mind to the sense organs, the eyes, ears, nose, tongue and body. And once the mind is connected to the sensual organs, it can receive the sight, sound, smell, taste and tactile objects. Once they come into contact, then you experience feelings. You have good or bad feelings arise. If you see good picture, you have good feeling. If you see bad pictures, you have bad feelings. If you hear good sound, you have good feelings. If you hear a bad sound, you have bad feelings. Once you have feeling, then you start to have desire for that feeling, toward that feeling. If it is good feeling, you have attraction for it. You have desire to possess, to keep it for as long as possible. If you have bad feeling toward that object, then you have the desire to stay away or get rid of that bad object. Once you have this desire, then you will have attachment to these objects. And once you have attachment, you keep coming toward them, keep coming back for them. That's caused you to reborn. Because once you die, you lose all the objects that you like, but you still want them, so you come back and take birth again. Avijja will then direct the mind to go look for a new body, so it can then experience this same experience that it had been experiencing again. So it will do this again and again and again, never ending. It will only end when you come across the teaching of the Buddha, who will teach you to have wisdom, to know that the things that you crave for are bad for you, because they are impermanent, they only last briefly, and they will make you addicted to them. It will force you to keep coming back for them again and again. So the Buddha said it's better to have another kind of happiness, the happiness that arises from meditation. So you should learn to meditate, because once you know how to meditate, then you will have found a new kind of happiness that will make you don't need to have this old kind of happiness. Once you have meditation as your form of happiness, then you don't need to travel, to go see or hear things, or to do anything through your body again. Then you won't have to come back and have a new body. Okay? Understand? Any more questions? Oh, wait, take the microphone.
Sadhu Ajahn, the same thing happens in every moment, no Ajahn, the coming back even when you are eating, tasting, so that's like reborning again and again. No,
Yeah.
Sadhu,
Redoing the experience. You want to keep maintaining this experience forever.
Yes.
So when you have no body, you have to go get a new body in order to achieve this re-experiencing.
Sadhu, Ajahn, sadhu.
But if you can meditate, then you don't need to have this kind of experience, because the experience that you get from meditation is far better than the experience you get from using the body. So once you know how to meditate, then you don't need the body. You just keep meditating. Every time you want to experience good experience, you just enter into jhana. Okay? All right. Any more questions? Okay, that's it now. All right. If you have some more, you can let me know. Okay.
Sadhu Ajahn, I have a question. It's regarding karma. And we know that what we have learned in Buddhism, that most of the things happen because of the karma. When some natural disasters happen, like tsunami or flood, lots of people in same areas in Sri Lanka, we have seen same areas, lots of people died and lots of properties has destroyed. But in the same area, some people survive, couple of houses survive without anything.
Mm-hmm.
So is it because of karma or niyama dhamma? Sadhu.
No, it has nothing to do with karma as far as natural occurrences. It just happened due to the interaction of the four elements, the earth, water, fire, and wind. When they interact, they can cause storm, they can cause earthquakes, and if you happen to be in that place, then you just have to be affected by. If you happen to be in a different place, then you don't get affected. So it's not karma. The karma that affect us is to be born. If we don't born in this world, then we won't be affected by the natural occurrences. And the cause of our karma is our desire, our cravings. See? This craving push us to come and take birth. Once we have birth in this world, then this body will have to live with the natural occurrences. Sometimes you have to face the storm, sometimes you have to face the flood, sometimes you have to face the drought. So this is the natural occurrences that is already there, whether you are there or not. See, you just happen to want to go to that place. So you just then have to experience that occurrence. So that your karma is to be born. If you're not born, then you don't have to face all these occurrences.
I would like to ask about what is really meant by Dhamma, because I try to understand the description in Dhammanusati, but I can't really get the meaning. Thank you.
Dhamma has many different meanings. It depends where do you read about. In the Satipatthana?
No, the one in the recollection of Dhamma, Sanditiko, Akaliko, Ehipasiko.
Dhamma, this means the teaching of the Lord Buddha. See, the Dhamma has many different meanings, but the one that you refer to is the teaching of the Buddha. The Buddha, Dhamma and Sangha. See, and the qualities of the Dhamma is akaliko, meaning it is not changed with the time. The Dhamma always remains the same. His teaching is the same during his time and during our time. The ability of the Dhamma to deliver us to Nibbana is still the same. It doesn't change with time. The ability of the teaching to help us get to Nibbana is the same regardless of time. Sanditiko means you have to experience it yourself. The Dhamma, by just listening, is not yet complete. To appreciate the true meaning, the true value of Dhamma, you have to practice, and then you will come to understand the meaning of akaliko, ehipasiko, so forth. So this is what the Dhamma means, the teaching.
So does it mean the Dhamma that has been realized by oneself? I mean, experienced and realized by oneself, then one can put refuge on that, not really something that...
Yes, it's what you will experience when you practice following this teaching. See, like Nibbana, the realization of Nibbana arises from your following the teaching of the Buddha. So the Dhamma has many different meanings. It can be the Dhamma teaching, it can be the Dhamma experience. The result that you get from your practice, following the teaching. The attainment to the 4 different levels of enlightenment. Sodapanna, Anagami, Sakidagami, Anagami, and Arahant. So these are also called the different Dhammas. Yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
Thank you.
Different stage of enlightenment, realization.
Okay. Thank you.
Is that all?
Yes.
Okay. Okay. Please speak close to the microphone so we can hear you.
I would like to ask you, for your personal experience, which is the most effective way to practice Maranasati, both in formal meditation and during daily life?
Marananusati, you mean the contemplation of death?
Yes, exactly.
Yes, you can do it while you are developing mindfulness. You can do it all the time, from the time you get up to the time you go to sleep, except when you are doing meditation. When you do meditation, you want to stop your mind, you want to rest your mind. So that's not good time to contemplate on death. The purpose of contemplating on death is to remind you, not to forget, so that you will then learn how to cope with it when it comes. You don't have to be hurt by death if you know how to cope with it. But if you don't know, and when you face death, you will be hurt. Yeah. So the purpose is to raise your awareness towards death, that eventually you're going to have to meet this, and you must learn to know how to cope with it in a way that will not hurt you. The way not to hurt you is to, firstly, to calm your mind. Yeah. If your mind is calm, then your mind will not be disturbed by whatever happens. Then the next thing is to teach your mind to know that the reason why your mind is hurt, because your mind is being deceived by the mind's own delusion. The mind thinks that the body is the mind. So you want to teach the mind that the body is not the mind. The body is the servant of the mind. The mind have access to this servant at the time of birth, and it will have to lose this servant at the time of death. So you have to teach your mind in this manner, and also teach your mind that there's nothing you can prevent death from happening. This is the process of the body. Once it is born, it will then start to get old, get sick, and die. But you don't have to worry or be hurt by whatever happens to the body, because the body is not you. You are the mind. You are the one who thinks, who tells the mind who tells the body what to do. The body is just like an automobile. You are like the driver. The mind is like a driver. Whatever happens to the automobile doesn't happen to the driver. So this is, you have to teach your mind to have the right view of the body and the mind, that they are two separate persons. They are not one and the same person. One die doesn't mean the other will also die with it. And by the nature of the mind itself, it never dies. You know, once it loses this body, then it go look for a new body. As long as the mind still have cravings for sensual pleasures, as long as the mind still wants to have happiness from seeing, hearing, tasting, smelling, and touching, then the mind will still need a body. The reason why the mind is hurt by the death of the body, because the mind doesn't want to lose the body. The mind depends on the body to make it happy. You need the body to see, to hear things. Yeah. But if you can meditate and then stop your desire, when you meditate, you can stop your desire for hearing, seeing, feeling, and touching things. Then you don't need the body. If you have meditation as the means of making you happy. So first you have to meditate to make you happy. Once you are happy, then you know you don't need the body. Once you don't need the body, then whatever happens to the body will not hurt you or bother you. So this is basically what you have to do besides from just contemplating on death. Just to let you know that the body is not reliable, not dependable. Sooner or later you're going to have to lose it. So you have to find something more dependable, more reliable. And the only thing that is more dependable, reliable is the meditation, the happiness that you will get from meditating. So that way will then motivate you to concentrate on your meditation practice, to develop jhana. You know, once you have jhana, you have happiness. Then you don't need to use the body.
Thank you.
Okay. Is that all? Any more question you want to ask?
A short one. Most probably you have asked many times about it. When fasting, what should be checked in order to understand when it is enough and not going over that point? Is the body or is the mind? Because sometimes the body feels okay, but the mind becomes restless and easy to develop anger. Other times the body feels exhausted, but the mind is quite content and happy and bright.
Well, if you're fasting, what you have to watch your body is how it behaves. If it still remain normal, nothing happens, then you can fast. But you start to have stomach ache, have problem with your digestive system, then maybe you are doing too much. So you have to stop fasting and come back and eat normally for a few days to bring it back to normal. Then you fast again. Normally, if you just fast 3 or 5 days at a time, wouldn't be any problem. If you fast 3 or 5 days and then you come back, eat for 3 or 5 days, and then you go back again. But if you fast more than you eat, then there will be problem. But if you have half and half, 50 and 50, that shouldn't be any problem in fasting. But as far as the mind goes, what you need to do is, if the mind is restless, you need to develop mindfulness to stop the mind from being restless. You can use a mantra, or you can focus your mind on your body action. Whatever you do, keep watching. Don't let your mind think. Especially when you're fasting, your mind will tend to think about food. So you need to contemplate on the repulsive nature of food. Don't think of the food on the plate. Think about food in your mouth, when it's mixed with your saliva, when it's being chewed. Mm-hmm. See if when you spit it out, can you then take it back into your mouth? Or think of the food in your stomach when you vomit it out. Or think of the food when you defecate, when you go to the toilet. If you think of this aspect of food, then your hunger will disappear. You will not want to eat. But if you think of the good-looking nature of food, like when it's on the plate, then it can make you become very hungry. So this you can prevent, you can stop by contemplating on the unattractive nature of food, aspect of food. Think of the food in your mouth, think of the food in your stomach, think of the food when it goes to the toilet. They are food, right? Mm-hmm. When you think of them, then you won't be hungry. Then you can continue fasting. Fasting is good because it keeps your mind alert, and it makes your mind have the strength to practice. If you eat too much, you tend to be lazy and sleepy and drowsy. So this is what you do. You use fasting to prevent drowsiness or sleepiness or laziness. But you have to know the right amount, not too much, not too little. Then it will help you in your meditation, because when you fast, you will be hungry, and only way to stop your hungry is to meditate. Because once you meditate and your mind become calm, then the hunger will disappear. Because the hunger comes from the mind, not the body. So it's good to fast if you can. It will then force you to meditate more in order to get rid of your hunger.
Thank you very much.
Okay.
Olivia ครับ
Bonjour, Olivia from Paris.
Bonjour ท่านอาจารย์ I understand as you say that the body is not us, but what about the mind? Can we say that the mind is not us as well? Because the mind, as the body, always changes. For example, I don't think the same way today than when I was 20 years old.
The mind is the mind. The mind doesn't belong to anybody. The mind is the one who knows, who thinks, and it just happened to think that it is me and it is you. That's all. But once the mind is alone by itself, when it stops thinking, then the mind is just the one who knows. So you don't have to worry about the mind as far as what the mind is. What you have to worry is what the mind does. Right now, the mind does bad thing. The mind hurt itself by thinking that everything belongs to it, such as the body. So you want to teach the mind to see the truth that nothing belongs to the mind, so that it doesn't have any desire for them. It's the desire for things that hurts the mind, that makes the mind unhappy or sad. Once the mind doesn't consider anything to belong to itself, then it doesn't have any desire for them to be or not to be. Then whatever happens to things will not hurt the mind. So this is basically what you should be concerned with. It's what the mind does to itself, not what the mind is. The mind, whatever the mind is, you don't have to know, because it is what it is. Basically, it is the one who knows and the one who thinks. That's all it is. But right now, it's not thinking properly. It's not thinking correctly. It thinks that everything that it comes into contact with is good and it wants to grab and keep it for itself. But everything is impermanent. You cannot keep everything forever. Sooner or later, you will have to lose it. When you lose it, then you become sad. But if you see that everything is impermanent, then you let go of everything. You don't want to own anything, because whatever you own, one day you will lose it. When you lose it, then you'll become sad and unhappy. If you don't want to be sad or unhappy, then you don't own anything. And the only way to not to own anything is you have to have happiness inside yourself. And the way to make the mind happy is to meditate. Once the mind knows how to meditate, how to make itself happy, then the mind doesn't have to go have things to make it happy. Doesn't need to have body, its own body or other people's body to make it happy. It can be happy by itself. That's what the Buddha is right now. The mind of the Buddha is alone, but happy, because the mind of the Buddha is calm and peaceful and happy. So the mind of the Buddha doesn't need a new body like us. If we still have desire to use the body, when this body dies, we will go look for a new body again. We will have rebirth again. Okay?